What's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another review. This time, some spoiler talk for the classic 1982's The Thing by John Carpenter. And I think I was reading up on this. This is like his like major motion picture, like studio debut, pretty much. Everything else was kind of a little lower budget, I guess.
Yeah. Everything else was a little lower budget. When he did Halloween in '78, it was like, I think it was like 375,000 to make or something like that. And
you got it perfect on the money right there.
Oh, nice. And then he did like Assault from Precinct 13, but this was like the movie that like this was his personal favorite movie out of his series too. And so it cost definitely in the millions. So you're
already saying all of my trivia facts that I wrote down. That's okay. But before we get into this review, guys, you are tuning in with Flix Talk, and I got my special guest, Jeremy, my good co-host. Man, this guy is so awesome. He used to be my neighbor. Unfortunately, we're in quarantine time, so we're doing this, live, just kind of split screen, from each other's homes. So, hopefully if this works out pretty good, I mean, we'll do a lot more. I'm sure we will, because this guy is a database of knowledge. And the thing, like you said, is like one of your favorite movies of all time, right?
One of my all-time favorites. I say, it's definitely in my top 5 of, just like movies in general. And Kurt Russell's just, you can't get more of a badass than Kurt Russell, and you can't. Yeah, it was just so good.
I think being quarantined, I've just been like letting you can't really see it, but letting my hair grow out in the back. I want to get like a mullet or something like Kurt Russell. You already got it. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely got it. And that was another trivia fact, is that real quick, Kurt Russell, I guess it took him a year to grow out the beard and the hair for that part.
Yeah. And that beard is just like, if testosterone was a physical thing, it would be Kurt Russell's beard in that movie.
Totally. Because every time he walked into the room, it was just pure badass. Like, he just had this like presence, It was awesome.
He has his charisma. He has his presence. He wasn't even like the lead guy. He wasn't the guy in charge. It was the other guy, the captain. I'm drawing a blank on the character's name. But but everybody listened to McCready, and he was like, he's the one that stepped up and is like, hey, I'm running this show, It was awesome.
So before we get into this classic movie, The Thing, guys, let's go over this classic cast. So we already named Kurt Russell as McCready. You got Wilford Brimley, who was, man, he was awesome in this movie as Dr. Blair.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. You got T.K. Carter as Knowles.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
Yeah, and that's interesting that he was in this role, and no comedy whatsoever really in this role.
No comedy in this movie. Yeah,
this movie was extremely serious, so I don't think there was any room for that at all. You had David Clennon as Palmer.
Okay, yeah,
so that was cool. Keith David, who I love, as Childs.
Keith David, one of my all-time favorites. Very underrated, and it's been in like over 150 movies. Character actor, but he's so good in everything he does. They
Fantastic.
Live also.
Yeah, They Live has an awesome fight scene with Roddy Piper.
Yes.
You have Richard Dysart as Dr. Cooper. You have Charles Hallahan as Van Norris, and he was, one of those that had an iconic Thing scenes, I guess. That one stuck in my mind the most. We'll go over that in a minute. Richard Masur as Clark. And you have a couple of, so I think the guy that you were talking about though is Donald Moffat as Gary. I think he was like
Gary. Yeah, that's right.
Gary. Yeah. So I think out of all of these, I'm gonna say Kurt Russell is the one that had that star power to stick around forever.
Oh, dude, yeah, Kurt Russell is definitely like the A guy. And he's obviously he was doing movies when he was like a kid, and he did the one with Elvis Presley when he was a kid.
Okay. Which one is that? I haven't seen that one.
It was just a cameo, and I'm drawing a blank of the name. I can't even think of the name of it, but he kicked Elvis Presley in the shin. And that was his screen debut.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember the name of it.
Usually big stars usually start off on like little cameos or TV shows or whatnot before they transition to movies.
No,
but
totally.
This movie, man, I mean, I don't want to go off the synopsis, but I mean, you start off with an iconic scene of the dog running, and I'm someone that
Yeah.
has only seen this movie, I'll be honest, maybe 3 times in my life. Not because it's bad, it's because it was like I soaked up so much just from watching it. I was like, this
Yeah.
I already know this is a classic. Like, it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
a lot of quotable things going on, a lot of cool characters too. It's like
Yeah.
not just 1 or 2 characters, like the whole
Yeah.
cast was like
Yeah,
everything was on edge, you know?
everything goes. Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
So
get the
good.
whole the whole explanation of everything too. For somewhat, I mean, you know, we understand that it came from space. And I don't know
Yeah.
why I didn't remember that first like
The saucer,
UFO.
the
Yes,
ship.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that for some reason.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like coming in, and it looks super cheesy, by the way.
Well, yeah.
But for back then, it was like epic.
Yeah,
it was
for,
awesome.
For
you know?
1982, they're probably like, "Oh shit, this is real aliens."
Yeah,
you know?
people were probably in the theaters like screaming, like, "Oh my god, is this real?"
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool to see that. And this had a big budget. I mean, we'll get into the budget of all that, but later on.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, you start off with the iconic dog. Was it a husky or it was something like a?
Yeah, it was like a husky Malamute.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah,
those,
it was
definitely one of those.
very, very cool, beautiful looking dog. And
Yeah.
you know, we get the Norwegians, and it was so funny that him and Kurt Russell I forget the guy's name. I was going back and forth with Kurt Russell. He goes, I think he was calling them Swedes or something, and he's like,
Oh
they're
yeah,
Norwegian.
they're Norwegian. Yeah.
Yeah, they're Norwegian.
Yeah,
Norwegian,
the doctor.
McCready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He goes, and then they go to the base. He goes, "All right, let's see if we can find the Swedes." He goes,
Yeah.
"Norwegians."
Hey, Sweden! Not Swedish, Mac, the Norwegian.
That was cool. And
Yeah.
so yeah, when we get our first look at kind of like I guess our gore shot is like when they go into that base, you know. And that was cool because you got to see the blood icicling over from
Yeah,
the Norwegian,
yeah.
and then like his throat was slit.
Oh
Just,
man,
dude, his
That
head was
deep-
almost off, bro.
Oh, head was. He looked like a Pez dispenser, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
It was
I
gnarly.
think this movie is like, and I looked it up. It didn't do that well at the box office, from what I remember.
Yeah, it didn't. It
Yeah.
didn't do, and that's what like it kind of like broke John Carpenter, you know, and rightfully
Mhm.
so, because the movie was so good. And I just think it's the time it was made, maybe, you know, because I think if
Yeah.
it was made today with that cast, I think it'd do, you know, amazing. But it came out like the same time ET did, and it just kind of got overlooked and swallowed up by that. And
Yes.
you know, and John Carpenter was like, man, that was like my passion film, pretty much. That was the one that, you know, it did, you know, obviously it's a cult, you know, classic phenomenon. It's really good, but that's where it got most of its money back, and everything was through VHS and video, and then just got that cult following.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, definitely, like you said, a passion project for him. And once again, it's like it must hurt you. I mean, as a director, to not get acknowledged as much as you would like. But I'm
Yeah.
sure he was fine with the final project. You know,
Oh,
how it all
yeah.
came out in the cutting room. You know, nothing really left
Yeah.
on the cutting room floor. I'm sure the special effects were amazing.
Oh.
And like you said, they were going up against ET in like its second
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Even people need to realize too, when theaters were big right now, I mean, it's hard to realize a world without theaters. We're living in it right now. But you know, not only that first weekend, but these movies trickle on for 2-3 weeks, and they could still
Oh, yeah.
hurt a movie if it's a big
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, no, totally.
And yeah, Steven Spielberg was killing it with ET.
Yeah,
And I mean, you know, it's like, do I take my kids to see ET or The Thing?
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's-
and it's definitely for it's for a certain demographic. I could, you know, watching it again.
Yeah.
And I was showing this actually to my girlfriend Laura, you guys, and this was her first time she had seen it
Oh, nice.
ever.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
I got to see her reaction on it, and she thought it was just gross and gory.
Yeah.
And
that's-
jumping
That's
right to the
good.
special effects.
Yeah,
I
was gonna
love-
say.
Yeah, I love all the practical effects, but that they kept
Yes.
it like really wet and gooey to make
Yeah,
it look
yeah.
like more realistic. I feel like they
Well,
don't do that with practical effects anymore.
Well, they don't, you know, and it's like you're trying to find a good movie nowadays with good practical effects. It's really
Mhm.
hard, you know, because everything's just a CGI fest, you know. And
Yeah.
CGI is fine when it's done right, like for a movie where it's supposed to be, you know, a CGI fest. But you know, it's like a lot of these movies that come out now, it's just like everything's CGI, and it just looks so polished and fake and everything. And this is back in the day where it was just like these practical effects, you know, still hold up
They reign supreme
today.
too. It was an art form too. I mean, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
you
Yeah.
have the director, the producers, the co-producers, and you have the
Yep.
special effects team. Like that was a big deal to be part of the special effects team.
Yeah, the young guy he did it. I think it's Ron Button. I can't
I
remember his
believe.
name, something
Yeah.
like that. But he was 22 years old when he did it.
Yeah.
I
Very
mean, it's just
extremely
like,
young to be doing something. And I
yeah,
do remember, I think, watching a behind the scenes where they had said something, they pulled him. The reason why they chose him is because he had work on another film or something like that, another horror film that was like
oh
really, really
yeah,
big. I totally forget his
yeah,
other works. I'll have to look it up. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, to have that eye to create that in your head, just kind of envision it
yeah.
with John Carpenter at age 22 is like phenomenal.
Oh,
You
it's
know?
remarkable. It's so
Yeah,
crazy.
it came out so good. If you guys don't know this, the premise, I'm sure you guys know already by now. But the thing is something that it it's like it's an organism, is what it
Yeah,
is. And the only thing I kind of gathered from the backstory of it is that it attached itself to an alien, and that's how the ship crashed, possibly.
yeah.
That's kind of what I got from it. I don't know. What is your take on the whole spaceship situation?
Yeah, like you said, you didn't really notice space till the last time you watch it, and it's like it's just for a brief minute, and then it
Mhm.
crashes down. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the alien is just obviously the thing, and I
Mhm.
don't know if it's like an airborne thing, or whatnot, like fallen that goes from person to person, but
Right.
I think it's the alien, and it disseminates itself with living creatures and tries
Yeah,
to adapt.
tissue.
It tries to adapt into that creature. So like even if it goes into that person or that dog, when it's in them, that person still thinks that they're human. So
Right.
they're going on and like, oh, I'm human, but they don't
Mhm.
know because the thing is taken over. But I think the
It's
thing's more like an alien that's just kind of like maybe they got like I don't know. I don't know how they go into bodies and stuff, but
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like it leaves it up to your imagination almost, of
yeah,
like
no, it
how
totally
it could
does.
be, the whole replicating of I mean the whole dog scene is one of the most iconic things I've ever seen in cinema,
Oh yeah, yeah,
of all
easily.
times. It's
Yeah,
super gross, it's
yeah,
super detailed.
yeah.
I mean, it's attaching itself to other dogs. I mean,
Oh, it was
I
brutal scene,
dude,
man. Like
it
when
I,
the
I
dog's
don't
face opens.
yeah, when the dog's face opens, like
Yeah,
I don't remember the scene where like that the tentacle comes out and it wraps around the other dog that's like actually alive,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they end up shooting that dog, and I was like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah,
I don't remember,
yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But then I'm
I think
also
he was doing like a mercy kill.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I
Yeah,
was like, you know what?
yeah,
He saw the dog was being choked out or whatever. He was
yeah,
mercy kill. The
yeah,
other dog got shot with like that liquid, and there was all kinds
yeah.
of things going on with real animals in
Oh
this
yeah,
scene.
yeah,
It was incredible. But yeah, it basically replicates you, and I mean, we got to see it replicate in multiple forms, because at the end of this movie, when it finally like has like its final form of just, dude, there's like a dog in there, there's like
yeah,
3 or
yeah,
4 different guys in there. It's
yeah.
crazy. It looks
It's
really
just this
warped.
crazy ass thing. Yeah,
It's almost like when the T-1000 at the end of Terminator 2, like when it's like all melting, it's like all
yeah,
morphine and stuff, and
yeah.
all the bodies are coming out of it. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
that. It's like
it is like that. It's
it's
exactly like
very
that.
crazy.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So I mean, I noticed certain things that I hadn't caught before, but the pacing of this thing in maybe the first hour is, the thing kind of lurking, as far as like you don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
You think it's just the dog. You think it's just the dog
Yeah,
at first, and then you notice that it's attaching to the guys, and
exactly.
then the whole second part of the movie becomes a who's next? Who's
Exactly.
next?
That whole paranoia that like, hey, I'm not infected. Are you infected? Are you the thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like exactly. It's just that edge of your seat. And the music. The music is a
Oh, the
character in
music was great.
itself.
Yeah.
And Nino Morricone did the score. And it's like I think this was like the only film John Carpenter didn't actually do the whole 100% score.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Yeah.
Nino Morricone.
He gave him a chance on that one, and I think he killed it, because
he killed it. It's so good.
that had me on edge. Even though I noticed a lot of the scores were a bit similar, but
Yeah.
that was kind of cool, because it was like, okay, this is for the thing,
Oh
this
yeah,
is
you know that those bass lines that dun dun, it's like it's just that eerie dun dun,
it's
and
almost
then
like the Jaws theme, or
exactly.
when the shark is coming,
Yeah, dude. It's just like when you hear that tune, you're just like, shit's about to go down.
Mhm.
It just had that fear factor, It's not like a lot of movies today where it shows you the whole monster during the whole movie. This is just
Oh
something where
God,
it's
I know.
like, it leaves you the imagination, your fear, being like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? It's like when Jaws came out, you know, they barely showed the shark, and it made it that much more, you know, suspenseful, that much more scary.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, and it's just like these guys are already going stir crazy because they've been, you know, out there in that cabin. I totally forget the one guy's name. I'll have to look it up right now. But he's always trying to be on the radio, and like he's like, man, we've been out here for like 2 weeks and I haven't heard shit or whatever, you know. And he's the guy that had the curly hair.
Look, I haven't been able to reach shit in 2 weeks. I doubt if anybody's talked to anybody on this entire continent, and you want me to reach somebody.
Palmer. I think it was
yeah.
Palmer. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. That they're all kind of going a bit stir crazy.
Oh yeah.
So it's like one of those things, and you throw this thing in the mix, you know, the thing, and you know, it just adds to so much more tension.
Oh no, totally. It really does, you know.
And it's really cool to see how those guys live too. I mean, they had like a room with like a pool table, they have arcade and stuff.
Yeah. They had computer games, you know.
I thought it was so funny. Yeah. they had a whole computer base just for chess. That was it.
Yeah.
And then he throws his drink inside there.
You cheating bitch.
Yeah. That's awesome. He's always sipping on his was it Jim Beam, or it said JB on it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was
JB.
some kind of whiskey or something.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Childs, man. Childs is a character. I mean, I've only seen a couple of movies. I mean, you probably have more memorable. I've seen him. I mean, obviously we've seen him in like Something About Mary. I remember him from the dad.
Yeah.
Woogie would never do that.
Yeah.
I love that. Where he's like, I was just giving him the ball. What ball? That was awesome. Oh, totally. Also, do you remember him in Requiem for a Dream?
Oh yeah.
That was, you know, as Little John. I remember he had the deep voice of Little John.
Little John,
dude. He's Of Course They Live, really iconic.
They Live, one of my, you know, another Carpenter film with Roddy Piper and Keith David.
Excellent. We're gonna have to review that one because that one has so many undertones that are like relatable for today. You know
I was just, you know, it's funny we were just talking about that because I was saying that to Nicola the other day, and I'm just like, that movie is basically, it's like a documentary. It's like we're living that, you know, and it's we'll definitely have to review that one for sure.
Oh, I'm so down for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely recognize a couple of the other guys. The Wilford Brimley, that's not the guy that was in those commercials, that diabetes.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes. Actually, about diabetes and you know, diabetes.
Oh. Yes.
I wasn't 100% sure if that was him, but he played a great job. He was one of the first ones to kind of discover about the replication, right? Kind of like to notice it, to pick up on it.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And and he was doing all the autopsies, and I read on the trivia that those were real animal organs, I think is what they said.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
So they were using real organs in that film, and the scene like where they're first dissecting, I believe, the creature. Well, I mean, this is the creature that was burned already that they got from the Norwegian site.
Yeah.
So they kind of sliced into it, and once again, just the attention to detail, all the, you know, the face, the different everything. Layers inside, and it was just great. I mean,
they don't do effects like this anymore, man.
I mean, I mean, you got to look at movies like that, Alien, the Alien series. I mean, these big creatures that took forever to create.
Yeah. Oh no, totally.
I think you have a much more of appreciation for them, you know.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It means more, you know. It's just it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
We're talking about Alien. Also, it's like, I have to say, be honest, I maybe an unpopular opinion, but I like The Thing better than Alien.
I agree. You know, I think so. Even though Alien is iconic to me.
Not
so
iconic.
much. Yeah, not so much the sequels, I was gonna say, but
actually, part 2 was my favorite.
2 was good.
James Cameron.
Yeah, out of the 2? Out of the 3, I guess you want to say, or
out of all the Alien movies.
All the Alien movies,
Aliens Part 2 is my favorite, hands down.
Okay.
So good.
I might have to go back and rewatch that because these are movies that
Yeah.
usually some of the older movies I've only seen maybe once or twice or whatnot.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Evil Dead, which that's a one that is like my thing where I watch it like constantly.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
we'll have to review on that one too.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
All of them.
So, yeah, what was some of your favorite parts in The Thing?
The very beginning, the middle, the end, the whole damn movie, really.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like we said, I just thought it was just a really well put together movie, and it had the suspense, and like I said, the music was a character itself, and just like I said, Kurt Russell is one of my all time favorite actors. So like whenever he's on screen and he's complete badass, you're just like, all right, this guy's gonna, get stuff done. Keith David, I really love the what scene I really like, what really stood out was the blood testing scene. When they're doing it to find out who's the Thing.
That was intense, huh?
That was so intense. And you know what made it really intense is there was no music, no background music or anything during
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so if you go back and watch it, you'll watch it and there's no music and you just got the guys tied up and you're just waiting and you're waiting for the suspense of like, shit, who is it? Who is it? And they're just going one by one. And that scene is so pivotal. And I think it's one of the best scenes in my opinion in movie history. So
I totally agree. It's very tension based. And then you also have Childs and a couple of the guys chiming in, well, how do we know it's not you? It's always Kurt Russell's the leader of the group. But then again, how do we know it's not him?
Exactly.
He took initiative to say, this thing it goes crazy for fire. So we're gonna fry your blood and let's see what happens.
Exactly.
And that was cool.
So
I mean, you get to see that whole scene with the guy in the chair, just kind of freaking out, and all the guys like trying to get away. They're like,
untie me.
Going, that was awesome. It's just the attention to detail, and it's one of those movies that it could have only done a couple of creature mutations of the Thing, but this one, dude, you had about 6 or 7 people mutate, you become the Thing, and that must have just took so much time, so much money, so much a little bit everything,
a lot of detail, just a lot of time, like you said.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I was always questionable about was the scene where the arms got bit off in the stomach.
Yes.
That was a bit. It was a bit
cool.
over the top and corny. It was awesome, but how did that happen? Like, I don't understand.
Maybe because the Thing, they thought that what's his name? They thought he died, so they're trying to revive him. And like you said, the Thing doesn't like fire, and heat. And when they put those,
maybe when they were trying to resuscitate him.
Maybe like the heat and the shock for it just opened up the Thing, and that was like a defense thing, and bit the doctor's arms off.
Yeah, because I initially thought, okay, well, I thought I could only bite from the actual the mouth or something, or if the head came off and another thing came out. But this one, the stomach just opened up and teeth were right there.
Yeah, I think it's wherever like we said, like the very last thing in the end, it's just like had 4 or 5 different people, and it just got different mouths and stuff. So
that was like the mecha thing, just like the final boss.
Yeah, no, it totally was, and that scene, they bites his arms off, and then they had an actual amputee, armless person, stand in for that scene.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember seeing that as well. So, I mean, this is one of those movies that it gets iconic status as the years go by. I mean, it ages like a fine wine for sure.
Yeah.
But I can understand why it wasn't people's cup of tea back then, I guess.
Yeah.
It just kind of went over people's heads. I mean, you got to understand.
I think so. And like I said, if the movie came out today, and I think that they used more practical effects, I think it would do pretty good, So
yeah,
I'd hope anyway.
Oh yeah, I think you have a lot more younger people appreciating movies for what they were. I always talk about this too. I talked about this on a live stream actually a week ago or so. You have 2 types of people. You have people that just watch movies to like kill time, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a second person like us where we actually appreciate the movie, where we take it all in, like, we love these characters so much,
totally.
and we walk away talking about it
over a beer, we dissect it, and
so there's 2 types of people, and I think maybe back then it was just an entertainment value thing where people just didn't get it. It went totally over their heads. They didn't let it marinate, and it didn't get the praise that it deserved in 1982. I think
I agree, and a little off subject, on subject, but it's like the Monster Squad that came out. I think it was like 85.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was like the kids, and you had the iconic monsters and the whole Stranger Things feel, and that bombed, and that didn't do good. But I think if that movie was to come out like today, you know, everybody would just go nuts for it, you know?
Yeah. Once again, a sign of the times, you know?
No, it really is.
It's just a sign of the times. And yeah, I mean, it's harder to make movies like that nowadays without people saying, oh, that reminded me of this in the 80s or the 90s. Because there's just so many movies that come out every year.
No, totally.
You know, so it's like when you create these breaking movies like The Thing, or like you said, Monster Squad, people don't get it because there's not much to compare it to.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just complete originals, you know?
Yeah. So I think for me, the favorite scene, and we'll jump to the end of this, is trying to figure out, is Childs or is MacReady the Thing?
Oh yeah, that end. That was such
the ending of it.
In my opinion, also that's one of the best endings in a movie ever. And and there's so many theories and everything like that about who's the Thing and who's not. And you know, I think John Carpenter just basically left it ambiguous for, you know, the audience to determine and be like, all right, who do you think it was? So everybody's got their own idea, and you know, I'm sure John Carpenter really knows. So we like leave it open. I mean, me personally, I would like to think that they were both human, and you know, a rescue chopper came and saw the fire and whatnot and saved them. Going on contrary to that, if I had to pick one of them to be the alien, I would pick Childs. So
yeah, I you know what? I kept rewinding that scene back and back about 3 or 4 different times. And then I started reading stuff online that I didn't even pick up on in the scene. And then I went back and rewound it again. And, you know, there's that whole thing about, well, Childs, when he's breathing, there's not much breath coming out, as opposed to, you know, Kurt Russell's character, MacReady, where there's all his breath coming out. It's like, well, he's human, you know, and there's that whole theory about putting the gasoline inside the J&B.
And say that the gasoline.
And it's like,
that's a good one too. Because it's like, the Thing wouldn't know what, you know, gasoline tastes like. So when MacReady gives him the Molotov cocktail, the gasoline in there, and he drinks it, and then as soon as he takes a drink, you hear the whole dun dun, you know, and then that chuckle from MacReady. All right, you know, so it's just like,
exactly. The chuckle is just put in there where it's like, God damn you, John Carpenter.
Yeah, I know, right? So,
you know, like, oh guys, you already know what's next, you know? So he's probably gearing up that flamethrower, you know, and it's
exactly.
It just kind of pans out and it shows you the whole, you know, everything on fire or just blown up. And then you just kind of leave it up to your imagination, which is like, like you said, one of the best endings perfectly.
Yeah, because like I said, it's been almost 40 years, and you know, people still debate and talk about that ending. And like I said, like I guess I'm kind of a you know, like I like happy endings, whatnot. I like good endings. I'd like to see them both, you know, be human. But if I can probably say, you know, my opinion, 99.9% that R.J. MacReady was not the Thing.
Definitely.
You know?
Is that because you're a Kurt Russell fanboy, or
maybe a little? You can't kill off MacReady. You can't kill off Jack Burton. No Six good. You know, they're all off limits. No, but there was a video game that came out on PlayStation 2, The Thing, and it took place after the movie. And,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And well, I don't want to spoil. Well, it was a PlayStation 2 game, so I mean, spoiler. You know, it's a damn game. I don't know.
This is all spoiler talk. It's okay.
R.J. MacReady comes at the end and saves like people in the group, like a couple of people in the group at the end of the game. So
there was some others that survived, or
well, it was like a different game, like different characters.
I see.
Yeah, and then R.J. MacReady flies at the end and like saves one of them. Or
excellent timing there, pilot. Early retirement from Gen Inc.
No, not exactly. On my way back from an extended Arctic vacation.
So what's your name, smartass?
MacReady. R.J. MacReady. U.S. Outpost No. 31.
And then they also went to that the 6 miles past the Norwegian base where they had the UFO that broke, which was awesome. You got to see the whole top of it. That was probably
cool.
one thing I would have loved for them to explore a little more is the actual spaceship like inside or something, like the whole everything about it.
Yeah,
totally. And this is one of those few movies also that instead of getting transitions where each scene kind of melts into the next scene, you get a lot of fade outs and fade ins. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no, totally.
Which also set the tension and the mood. I noticed it right away.
Exactly.
But
it just kind of keeps it going, like so
yeah.
good.
Usually in movies you might see that once, maybe twice. This one did it about 5 or 6 different times.
Oh yeah.
So it was almost like an end of a chapter.
Yeah,
totally. I was waiting for the Quentin Tarantino, the text popping up, chapter 2, popping up.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah,
this movie reminded me a lot of the actual Tarantino, the Hateful Eight, where they're stuck in the cabin. Just kind of like the whole being isolated, stuck, and also Ennio more I can't say his name, Morricone did the music for Hateful Eight and won an Oscar.
You're right, because I was reading that as well. But you're reading all my trivia facts, man.
You're taking it from me, man.
Yeah. They were saying, Quentin used some of the unused score, I guess, for from him, as well.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say the name, Morricone, but but from him. So probably one of my favorite, claustrophobic, like one setting location type movies for sure.
Easily it's my favorite for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I mean, good.
I also love the scene. Sorry, I also love the scene where it's like the guy's head falls off and it turns into like a giant spider alien thing.
Oh yeah,
and it's like you see it crawling.
That was Vance
on their face,
Norris.
and then it's crawling, and then the guy I'm drawing a blank on what the biker looking other pilot guy. I can't remember his name right now. I just watched the dang movie.
Oh, the one that always wears the denim jacket.
Yeah, the denim vest.
Denim vest.
The character's name, but he just his timing and when he turns around, I know it wasn't like a funny but it's just when he says, "You gotta be fucking kidding me," that. Just like, that's so good. Windows, I think it was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Windows as Thomas Waits.
Yeah.
His actual name is Thomas. Yeah, Thomas Waits.
Oh, nice.
Thomas G. Waits. Wait, so they used his actual name in the movie, his real name. Okay.
Oh wow.
All right. Yeah, it says Windows as Thomas Waits. Okay.
Oh wow.
Interesting. I don't even remember them calling him Windows in that movie.
Yeah, I had to remember. I didn't really get it out of the back burner and be like, what the hell was his name? So yeah. Excellent
characters. Everybody kind of held their own. I mean, I didn't have any gripes with any one of them really. I mean, they all shined, and I mean, another Kurt Russell classic.
Jam.
I mean, we talked about the ending of it. I don't know if I said, but I would think Childs would probably be the thing as well. If those theories hold up, in a perfect world, I would love that they both escaped, of course. Because to me, they were like the perfect protagonists of the movie. Just like
exactly,
just like the leading guys. Yeah, for sure. And then I love that ending of it. The whole special effects team. I wrote down a couple of trivia facts, if you don't mind, if we go over them.
No, please.
Now I got to filter out which ones you had said already.
I know, right?
Yeah. So real quick, where would you rank this in the Kurt Russell verse? Like,
dude, like I said, I'm a diehard Kurt Russell fanboy.
Yeah.
This is definitely probably top, easily top 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so good.
What would your other couple be?
God.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I know, right? Snake Plissken and Jack Burton.
Okay.
Big Trouble in Little China, and
you got it right there on the wall.
Yeah. And Escape from New York, Escape from LA. Yeah.
What was your favorite? Escape from New York or Escape from LA?
That's funny. It's like I saw Escape from LA in theater when it first came out. I want to say
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, 95, 96, somewhere in there. I remember seeing that in theater, and watching it as a kid, I was blown away. And I already saw Escape from New York, and going back and watching Escape from LA, it didn't hold up as well. It's not Carpenter's best, but I don't want to say it's a bad movie because, in my opinion, also the ending from Escape from LA is one of the coolest damn endings I've seen in a movie. It's so good. So
You gotta tell it to me because I've never seen Escape from LA. I've only seen Escape from New York. I've only seen Escape from New York.
Okay, yeah, you'll have to see. You'll have to see it. It's not like
is that the one with the basketball? Is that the basketball?
It's a basketball scene that over the top, where he makes everything to not get shot.
Yeah, doesn't he have to do it like in like a minute or something?
Yeah. He's got like 10 seconds to make like 10 shots in each side of the court, and the last shot he just and it goes in perfect.
I feel like I've seen only pieces of that movie, or I just remember only pieces of that movie. And was Steve Buscemi in that movie as well?
Steve Buscemi, yeah, Steve Buscemi was in it. Map to the Stars, Eddie. That was his name.
Map to the Stars, Eddie. Yeah, I remember, man.
Yeah,
I remember little pieces of it, but yeah, I would love to do more nostalgic films with you.
Pam, was it Pam Grier? She had a cameo.
She's in that movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see that one.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's like I said, I love the character Snake Plissken. To answer your question, which I like better, I'd go with Escape from New York, but I still liked Escape from LA. And like I said, the Escape from LA ending was just phenomenal. Really awesome.
Okay, I'll have to give that a watch then.
Yeah, no, totally.
So some trivia really quick. Some scenes were shot with stop motion animation, but John Carpenter rejected them because they looked too fake. Could you imagine this movie with stop animation?
Oh no, I don't think it would. And I'm glad John Carpenter knows what he's doing. He's just like,
yeah,
this isn't a Tromo movie,
Yeah, right. It would have looked like an old King Kong movie or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I'm glad they went all yeah, I'm glad they went all practical. Everything like how you said, going back to that whole, the guy's head separates and then the spider kind of legs come out.
Yeah.
As his head's sliding off the table. Oh my God, it looks so perfect and realistic.
Oh, dude, it looks so realistic. So good.
Yeah, I loved it. So I don't know if you knew this. You probably did. But Nick Nolte turned down the role of MacReady, as did Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. And thankfully so.
And there's a couple more, but let's go over the first two. So Nick Nolte as MacReady. He was big in the 80s.
Oh yeah, Nick Nolte was huge.
So
I like
Nick Nolte as MacReady.
I don't. Anybody, you could say anybody, and I'm gonna say no because nobody will ever be Kurt Russell in that role, and we'll never know. But I mean, honestly, Kurt Russell he just had it. It was just I couldn't see anybody in that. It's like saying like, well, what if Jean-Claude Van Damme was a Terminator? It's just like, nah. But I like Nick Nolte, but yeah, I don't know about him being an RJ MacReady.
Yeah, I don't know if I could see it either.
Yeah. If he can grow out a beard like that, I mean, I don't know. Sure he could.
And how about Jeff Bridges?
I love Jeff Bridges, but no, not for MacReady, man.
For some reason, I don't. Jeff Bridges never was an action guy to me. I mean, I've seen him in action movies, but he never was that full-on action guy. I don't know.
Yeah, no. He's a great actor, but
for sure.
I get what you're saying. He's not like a symbolic action guy like Kurt Russell. He's not like the Stallone. So Big Lebowski was a great movie for him.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Bill Lancaster wrote the script with Harrison Ford and Clint Eastwood in the lead role, and both men were considered. So once again, for MacReady, you got Harrison Ford or Clint Eastwood. I feel like Harrison Ford gets always, I mean, that was his time, back then, Harrison Ford. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of am interested in seeing Clint Eastwood as MacReady for some reason.
That's
Like if I would have saw him do like a little demo reel or something of like him and doing like lines of MacReady or something, that might be kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like the alternate universe. Like, what if? So it's pretty cool to, try and guess and assume how it would be. Yeah, totally.
And also at the top of the list was Fred Ward.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Fred Ward. I love Fred Ward.
I know you're gonna say no, but do you think he would have been a cool MacReady?
I mean, not taking anything away. Yeah, he would have been good, but nobody will ever be, I love Fred Ward. I think he's really underrated. And he was in some pretty big movies, but yeah, I still Kurt Russell just made R.J. McCready.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
but I love
he made
Fred
that
Ward.
movie, made that
Love
character.
Fred Ward and Tremors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's so
sure.
good.
That was also another another iconic 80s, 90s, and well, even into the
Yeah.
2000s. I mean, series that just kept going and going.
No, totally.
And you were
Yeah.
telling me about a TV show, right? That they were supposed to be doing of that. Or
Yeah, there was supposed to be a TV show, and it was with Kevin Bacon, and
That's right.
they shot the pilot, and it didn't get greenlit. So yeah, you could still see like the trailer. You go online, and you'll still see the trailer there. So
I'll have to put that up right here.
yeah,
But and then I'll end the trivia because there's hundreds of trivia questions.
dude,
but-
I was reading it earlier, and I would have read off some with you, but I'm on my phone here. But
Oh, no
dude,
worries.
it's so much trivia for this
Yeah.
movie. So many things go into it. It's pretty gnarly.
And I thought this one was cool that Entertainment Weekly ranked this as the 12th scariest movie of all time.
Yeah,
And,
how
and
crazy.
that's huge because if
Yeah.
you really think about it, of all time, all the most iconic movies,
All
I'm sure like
movies.
The Exorcist, Poltergeist, you got all these movies
Yeah.
that are revered for being scary. I mean, I don't know, everybody has a definition of scary, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like today's generation will never appreciate scary because jump scares are not. That's
No,
cheap to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's cheap. That's cheap to me.
Yeah.
You know, and like we're saying, it's not that character that you're like actually fear of, like where like, you don't ever know, So it's like cheap
Yeah.
jump scares just don't do it.
Yeah, because some of these scenes, even though there's a lot of gross out practical effects, those aren't even some of the scariest scenes. I think some of the scariest scenes come from the music, like you said, just building the
yeah.
tension,
That
the
tension,
isolation of being in Antarctica, where there's no one coming for you. There essentially is no one coming for you.
Yeah, no.
You're out there in the white snow. Anything can happen. You could either die from the thing or you can die from frostbite. Like you can,
Yeah.
There's so many things that can kill you out there.
Yeah, oh, dude, totally.
Yeah,
Just
so
die
it's an awesome setting that they did this. This movie did justice for the horror, thriller genre. It has a little bit of
Easily.
everything, really, drama.
Yeah,
Just so much.
yeah.
Action.
It has everything: action, drama.
Mhm.
I would say no real comedy, obviously, but there's like a couple parts that I don't want to say they're funny, but like just the timing wise, like what I said, the spider head, and then Windows turns around and goes, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" And it's
Yeah.
like, just the timing, it was pretty, get a little chuckle, but yeah, just so good.
Yeah, I had an excellent time with this movie. If I had to rate it on a retro review, definitely a 5 out of 5 for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I feel like watching it again now that I'm a little older, I appreciate it a little more because
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, I understand. Like as we watch movies, we start to, I mean, when we're young, we don't understand like the lighting and the whole
The
practical effects
cinematography,
idea, and
everything.
cinematography, everything. So I think once you get older, you kind of appreciate it a little more or a lot
Yeah,
more.
I agree. Yeah.
I wanted to jump to this film's budget. So this film had a budget of $15 million, and in 1982, that was like really
Unheard
big for a
of.
horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a horror movie
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So it was larger than average horror movies at the time. Friday the 13th in 1980 cost a mere $700,000, while John Carpenter, like he said, his original Halloween was only $375,000, and that was through a lot of not crowdfunding, but like it was from funding from a lot of different sources, right?
Sources. Yeah.
To get that movie made.
Yeah.
And once again, going back to his original, a movie that didn't show too much, but it was scary. It's definitely it's probably on the scariest of all time list,
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's what I said. That's like there's not that tension anymore. Like you said, it's a lot of movies today are just jump scares and just takes away from it. It's just really cheap.
Yeah.
And I give the thing 5 out of 5 as well.
Oh, I already
with
knew that,
you.
buddy. Everybody knows that already.
You didn't have to say. We know. We know you like the damn movie.
Yeah, I think everybody knew from the beginning of this movie when they saw that poster in the back, they knew what to think.
Yeah, I almost wore my thing shirt, but I was just like, I don't know. Nobody's gonna see it, so.
Oh, everybody! I'm gonna push this out to as many people as we can, man. And then
right.
also, you can't see it right now, guys, but he has a thing poster on the other side of his wall there.
I do.
So
I do.
he's a super, and a Thing book that you just showed me earlier on
I got a
too.
Thing book, and I'm a big nerd. I
That's
love
awesome.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So before we go, man, because we're almost creeping up on an hour, is there anything else you want
Oh,
to say
wow.
about the iconic The Thing?
Oh shoot, man! There's so much I could say about it, but it's like I could just keep going on and on and on about it. But just to keep it short and end it, on this note, is like just after rewatching it and seeing it, like literally hundreds of times, still holds up today. Still one of my favorite movies of all time. Just so good. Everything, the acting, the music, just everything in it. How it's shot, the cinematography, the effects, dude. Everything is just perfect. It was
Well
just
said.
an amazing movie.
Yeah, well said, man.
Yeah.
And this is one of those movies
you.
that you definitely have to watch with the lights off. You have to watch it with the lights off to create that mood. I mean, even though some of these shots are during the day, once again, the isolation, you have to be, whether it's a cabin in the woods movie or, out there in Antarctica, the isolation is so creepy, man. I can only imagine like what they're going through, like out there.
Oh yeah, dude. If you're in there with like, say we're out there with like a group of like 7 people, you're just like, I don't think I'd be as badass as RJ McCready. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we'll leave it on that. I mean, we give it a 5 out of 5. It is a classic review, guys. Watch it today if you guys haven't seen The Thing, the original. I'm not talking about the 2011 version at all. We won't go there.
Yeah. Well, there was actually one before this one came out. I think it was the 50s.
That's right. It's called the
night of the Thing, or
I think it's called it's called The Thing from Another World or something. Something like that. Yeah, black and white. I have yet to see. Have you seen that?
I actually haven't seen. I've seen like parts of it and stuff here and there, but not like the whole thing.
But I wonder how accurate it is to this film.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to actually give it a check out. Just sort of, I kind of like. Curiosity. I don't know why I haven't seen it before, but yeah, just gotta
especially since a lot of the 80s movies or beyond, were either adaptations or direct lifts from like movies from the 50s or 40s or there are all kinds of eras back then, and a lot of the movies were inspired, I guess, by a lot of things like that, and totally. body snatchers or zombie type movies, and different cool things like that. I mean, a lot of it's lifted from once again, it goes back into not recycled ideas, but I guess inspirations for these films. Yeah. And as we get later, in the decades, it's going to be kind of harder and harder to create these original movie monsters, I think.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. And I just want, like, on this note, just say, I hope they never, ever remake this movie.
Yeah.
And just leave it alone, dude. Leave the classics alone,
Yeah.
Don't remake it, please.
Yeah.
Because I just want some CGI, bore fest, where it's just like, there's no soul to it. And it's just, ugh.
Not at all. I think I had read also too that that there was some kind of they were going to do some kind of TV spin-off of this. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Like it was going to be supposed to be like a sequel. It was supposed to come out in like 2000, I think, or
I don't know. I know it was before that prequel that had come out in 2011.
Yeah, it was before the it
was before all that. And also jumping to I keep just remembering little things. They had said that spaceship had been buried there for like hundreds of thousands of years. Did you catch that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ. So there could be possibly prequels of people, that have been there and just kept being infected. Yep. And there's that scene with Wilford Brimley where he's on, I think it's Wilford Brimley, where he's on the computer and he's analyzing the data and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it says if this thing gets into a mass population, like global extinction, basically, like infect everybody.
Yeah, in like 3 hours, the whole world will.
Oh, how it spreads so quickly, and it's it's insane to even imagine that. I mean, especially in these times where we're all quarantined, we have to stay at home. We're supposed to be staying at home.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane, but
it's crazy.
I think we'll leave it at that, man. Excellent movie. We'll have to review another classic or just anything really in general. So thank you so much for joining me, Jeremy. I mean, this is awesome.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So good.
I feel like you're right here. I feel like you're right here next to me, man.
I know. It's been so long. I can't wait till, hopefully this is all over, soon. And
we can
get
go back to the
some normality. go back to
Yeah.
actual theaters, and
I
you
know.
know. But yeah, it's so long, you know. It's just like
I know.
no, obviously nobody's ever like lived through this, and it's
Right.
just crazy. Everybody just stay safe, stay at home. You know, don't go out
Yeah, for
unless you
sure.
absolutely have to. You know, and
That's all.
it's
That's
not
the only
worth
way we're
it,
gonna.
you know?
That's the only way we're gonna get over this thing quickly.
No,
Hopefully,
yeah,
you know.
no, totally,
Yeah. So,
totally, I agree.
all right. So we'll leave it on that.
But-
I'm gonna put Jeremy's information down below, guys, in the description, so you guys can make sure to follow him. He is a fellow movie fiend and Kurt Russell fanboy
Yes.
to the
Yeah,
fullest.
yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you guys send him a follow today. I'll put all his
Yeah.
information, like I said, as well as mine for Flix Talk. And then, yeah, let's just get a dialogue going, guys. Where do you guys rank The Thing in your top Carpenter or Kurt Russell movies? We'll say that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, right.
I want to see what people what other people think. So yeah, till
Yeah,
next time,
definitely.
guys. We'll catch you later.
All right, see ya.
And before we get into it, I mean this. Ooh, you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm good. My seat just broke, but it's okay.
Oh no.
That's all right. We'll leave it for the bloopers.
That'll definitely be for the bloopers.
all
Okay.
good.
You good? You want to adjust yourself or you good?
No, it's all good, I think. Yeah.
Okay.